we have some questions. How do you get the lapels loose? Okay. You have to think to yourself, trust me. By the time this happened, they're not going to be in his belt. You already passed the guard because it's not like you just started there and everything's tucked in. But if, let's say, it's all nice and tucked in right here, okay, I have to begin to set it up. Okay, if this was in his belt, I gotta pull it out, set it up. If this is stuck underneath, okay, look, I can go here and I can just grab it and I can pull it. And that's why it's important to be able to roll your hips, because as you're pressuring them and rolling your hips, you can do work. You don't need to think, okay, roll to the right one, okay, left one, right to the right one, you know? You're like, okay, fine, I'm here, maybe I try to mount here, add this here, whoop. Okay? So the rolling of the hips creates the pressure to create discomfort that they're gonna have to deal with while you can focus on other stuff, because your hip rolling should be automatic. It should be just something that you're not even thinking of. Like when you're driving, you're not thinking, okay, turn the wheel 2 degrees to the right, foot, pressure, PSI. You know, you have an accident, you know what I mean? So even when everything is tucked in, okay? Like with my lapels, I come around and I pull it out, because remember, there's also this, okay? And this. Okay? It's basically the same as this. This is a bit tighter, but from here, look. You see how you have now your lapel? And I want to pull it tight so that I can now just step over and begin to pull and finish. Because when I pull back, it tightens it. Walk your feet to the left. Right. Good, look. See here, it's a little loose here. Okay? As I step over here, look. See how it tightens it here? And then I can tighten it even more, even though it's somewhat loose. So how I set this up, look at all those lapels on your neck, Trilogy. Look, I'm here, look. I kind of get up high and just throw it over, okay? Because then I just go for a crossface and I fit it right here. And then as you're rolling your hips, you're feeding it. So we had 1. So just try it with this, okay? And then you'll realize, okay, so I start here, I'm here, step over, finish. Okay, so how do I get it over here? So come here. Okay, he shouldn't be thinking too much here. Oh, better here. If you actually feed it where this bottom part tightens, instead of this one, it's even tighter. Because you have this tighter than this. Because remember, this is why these are reinforced back here, because you have this to choke, okay? Versus this will take longer to straighten out than this right here, okay? So that you toss it over here, and then roll the hips. Finish the kick, okay? Take your left lapel, and look, what I did was this. Okay? Didn't really look like much. Maybe I'll walk me outside here, left of there. Look, got it. Shouldn't be thinking too much about it. There's just too much going on. Now, when you're on the bottom and you get submitted like this enough, then you realize, oh my God, there's this lapel, this lapel, this lapel. Oh, and one more thing I want to show you with this lapel here. Because remember, I also have this lapel too, okay? But this one is not as tight because this one works more so like this one, if you notice. That's more for control. This one and this one. The near ones are more for choking, because look how deep and tight they are around the neck. Especially like this one right here, okay? So when you get, hands framing, this right here. I got the RBI here, I drive my left shoulder so I can roll onto him. I got this lapel here, and I'm just gonna punch it through here, and I go here. Now from here, look, I passed it from my right to my left. Okay, so you also have that. All right, a lot of stuff. That's why I videotaped it for you guys. Okay, so play around with this one right here. And here you kind of walked around, maybe north-south here, and then you said, no, I'm gonna go back around, and then slide back up on the hip, step over, and hip into it. Okay, I do not want to do this because he can roll me to the left, and I don't want that, even though it may work here, but I don't want to take that chance and go to the bottom. I want to stay on top. The only time you should go to the bottom is if you're forced to be on your back, to be honest. Okay, let's go. 1, 2, 3.